This episode is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Use code INSIDE at omahasteaks.com to get the favorite gift package for only $69.99.
Welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Monday. Let's clap for the weekend is over and the week is upon us.
As we march closer to death, another week begins.
Why don't you
Okay, thanks, Connor. Yeah, we got some good news to kick off your week. BioSHOOK is back, baby!
The big B! The much-loved dystopian sci-fi franchise is coming back. Not tomorrow, not this year, probably not this generation, but it's going to happen.
Tease me, why don't you? 2K announced today that they're forming a new studio called Cloud Chamber. Dang, that's a cool name. That will make the next game in the venerable franchise.
Cloud Chamber is to be based in Montreal and San Francisco, and 2K described the new group as a collective of storytellers eager to push the front lines of interactive entertainment by making unique, entertaining, and thoughtful experiences that engage the world. Brian, you want to tell us more about this inventive experience that you interact with?
Yeah, we got some more corporate-ass quotes coming up, too. It's going to be headed up by Kelly Gilmore, who comes from Firaxis Games. They're known for making the Civilization and the Xbox games, but we'll get to more on that in a second.
No, Brian.
Brian, I think you meant to say a different X.
What?
You said Xbox games.
Did I say Xbox?
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Which is known for making the Civilization and XCOM games, but hey, more on that in just a second.
2K president David Ismailer said BioSHOOK is one of the most beloved and critically praised and highest rated franchises of the last console generation. We can't wait to see where its powerful narrative and iconic first-person shooter gameplay head into the future with our new studio team at Cloud Chamber leading the charge.
We've done water, we've done air, now land. BioSHOOK, Earth. Corporate speak can make anything sound bad, even the return of BioSHOOK after a million years.
And speaking of a million years, we're in for a long wait. 2K said that the game will be in development for the next, quote, several years.
The plot of BioShock will be a reality by the time we get a new BioShock game.
Ayn Rand's coming back? Break the chains. Which means it will be for the PS5 and the Xbox 1080, or whatever they name it.
XCOM. So we've got to wait. Still though, this is great news for fans of the franchise, which has been one of the most influential in gaming.
Yeah, if you've never played a BioShock game, first of all, shame on you.
What the hell?
The first game came out way back in 2007 and was developed by 2K Boston and 2K Australia. It introduced players to a dystopian world and won a lot of praise for its story and unique setting.
Yeah, while lots of games shy away from overtly political messages, BioShock is known for dealing with issues of religion, politics, racism, and class.
Yeah, to varying degrees of success. It's safe to say that BioShock was one of the most acclaimed games of the last generation, right, Brian?
Yeah, and then they made a sequel, and then the most recent game, BioShock Infinite, released in 2013. So yeah, it's been a long wait, but it looks like the wait is finally over. Well, it'll be over in several more years, so we've still gotta wait.
When I plug into my
Microsoft HoloLens deck.
Oh no, it's gonna be VR, isn't it?
It's okay, we have We Happy Few to hold us over. Right? Yeah, because honestly, the secret of BioShock's success was all about the writing. Also, the secret of my success. Great movie.
That was. Michael J. Fox ruled.
Never heard of it.
Hey, Bobo.
I don't really watch movies. I don't have a television. I'm more about books. Like we said, Gilmore comes over from Firaxis Games, but it's known for making strategy games, which is a completely different genre than BioShock.
Yeah, boring. That's the genre. Here's some more bad news. Ken Levine, the director of the first BioShock and BioShock Infinite, he's not involved with the new game.
Gilmore told IGN that Levine is, quote, not affiliated with Cloud Chamber, nor is he involved with the studio's development process.
Cue the clickbait headlines. This is not my BioShock.
I was trying to figure out how to throw to Brian. Brian, talk.
So yeah, getting back to what Ken Levine is up to, you might remember that his old studio, Irrational Games, which made BioShock and BioShock Infinite, as well as System Shock 2 and Freedom Force, went defunct several years ago. And then a couple years ago in 2017, he announced he'd started a new studio, Ghost Story, that was a spiritual successor to Irrational.
Get it? Spiritual.
Oh. All right, Ken.
According to the FAQ on their website, it's working on a new immersive sci-fi game with RPG elements. Levine also said in 2017 that he's working on a much more ambitious version of Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system for Ghost Story's first project.
God willing, because we know that the Shadow of Mordor franchise didn't take it anywhere.
Oh,
sorry, corporate
Dunk on
daddy.
Weenie.
Sorry, Warner Brothers. Interestingly, their parent company, like 2K's, is Take-Two Interactive. Gilmore told Games Radar that, quote, Ken and his team at Ghost Story Games are fully engaged in developing a new experience that will surely be another incredible game for all of us to enjoy.
So Levine's not involved with the new BioShock, which is a bummer. But it's also worth noting that he didn't make BioShock 2, which was the most controversial game in the franchise.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about that storied sequel, Brian?
Yeah, BioShock BioShock 2 has its defenders, but if we judge by reviews, it wasn't as well received as the first one and Infinite. So it's kind of like a Dark Souls 2 situation we got. Like Miyazaki wasn't involved in that. Guess what? It wasn't as good as 1 and 3. The first BioShock got a 96 on Metacritic. Infinite got a 94. BioShock 2 got in the upper 80s, so get that trash out of here.
Not a massive difference, but a difference.
It's like when a band you really like says they're going to go in a new direction for their next album.
We're gonna go to the woods for 2 months and then write a bad album.
It's called Pinkerton by Weezer.
Some are skeptical of the game without Levine. Reddit user Sierra Clouder wrote, considering Ken Levine and the Irrational team have long since left the franchise, I'm going to stay far away from the hype until we actually see the game. I don't want to get my hopes up for something that could easily turn out to be a disappointment.
Oh, a level-headed take. But others said that Levine wasn't the only one responsible for BioShock's success. Redditor Snakes Bandana, hell yes, wrote, God here. Wrote,
for all that reading you allegedly do, you think you could do it better. I'm just saying.
Well, Brian, the books read me, so why don't you just shove it up your ass? God, comma, here comes the Levine worship. BioShock 2 was a fantastic game without Levine. And if you actually read the article, the studio has a ton of other important people from previous BS games. Great way to shorten that one. Yeah, that's the downside.
Yeah, but you know what the upside is in today's story? Omaha Steaks. Just kidding, there's an actual upside here. But we'll get to that right after we dive into that delicious meat hole.
This season, Omaha Steaks is sharing an amazing limited time offer with our listeners, and there's still time to place your order for the holidays. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code INSIDE in the search bar to order the favorite gift package, the gift all your family and friends will love for only $69.99. What? That's awesome. All this delicious food, plus the free cutlery set that you'll enjoy for years to come for only $69.99. Omaha Steaks, we love them. They're the most tender, the most flavorful, and you can only get steaks of this quality from Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher. Omaha Steaks, they're a 5th generation family-owned company with over 100 years expertise in delivering perfectly aged beef, hand cut by master butchers in the heartland of America. Again, order now and you can get the favorite gift package plus the free 6-piece cutlery set and cutting board for only $69.99. Just go to omahasteaks.com and type INSIDE in the search bar. Don't wait. If you want to take advantage of this offer and get your gift there before the holidays are over, order the favorite gift package today.
You fill our bellies and our hearts, Brian. So on to our actual upside for this new BioShock. As Snakes Bandana, hell yes, pointed out, this new game does have some of the old BioShock crew working on it. Gilmore told IGN that a number of franchise vets are involved, including creative director Hoagie de la Plante.
This is the problem when you let game developers pick their own names. I'm Gun Shooter McAwesome.
Yeah, and I'm Connor. Hoagie worked on BioShock 1 and also BioShock 2.
Oh, good.
Who else is joining the project, Brian?
Also, Scott Cool Guy Sinclair.
Oh, hell yeah, I love Scott Sinclair.
Scott Sinclair was art director on both BioShock and BioShock Infinite, and BioShock Infinite's art team creative director, Jonathan Super Cool Pelling, will serve as design director. So it's encouraging. We got a new studio making the next BioShock, but they're not just starting over with a completely different set of faces.
It's also worth noting that sometimes reboots can work. Just look at the job that id and Bethesda did with Doom in 2016.
Gilmore said that, quote, our team believes in the beauty and strength of diversity in both the makeup of the studio and the nature of its thinking. We are a deeply experienced group of game makers, including many responsible for BioShock's principal creation, advancement, and long-standing notoriety, and honored to be part of the 2K family as stewards of this iconic franchise. I feel like I'm at a quarterly barbecue retreat. Do you burp?
Yes.
She's clearly trying to indicate that this will have some of the old BioShock DNA in it, and as for what the new game will look like, there aren't exactly a lot of details yet.
Gilmore told GamesRadar that BioShock's signature environments, like the underwater city of Rapture to the floating city of Columbia, are incredibly important to the gameplay experience.
But she added that there are many creative directions to explore, but you'll have to wait a bit longer to see where we go next.
Those environments are very important to us, but we're not doing it. I feel like with this direction, we're going with BioShock Corporate, where you have to make sure you get those reports collated by Tuesday. But you can also shoot your coworkers. with a special energy gun. Guys, relax. Oh my god, do you
now
think I
we're
was talking
talking.
about bullets? No.
So maybe a new direction? We also know that the new studio is hiring. Ars Technica found their hiring site, which showed that they had more than 30 open positions, including artists, animators, assistant lead game designer, lead producer, and lead character artists, and more.
One of the job descriptions mentions the new BioShock and says, "Our passion and love for this iconic franchise is what brought us together. The thrill and responsibility of creating the next iteration of such a beloved game is what keeps us going."
Yeah, judging by some of these vacancies, it's safe to assume that they're still very, very early in the development process, though.
Yeah, Brian, it doesn't sound like they have any kind of full team in place, right?
No, it sounds like they're going the Square Enix route of announcing they're working on a game and then finally putting something out 20 years later. So that has a big drawback, though. Like Nintendo conversely will announce a game and they're like, hey, it's coming out in 5 minutes. But you got others they'll just say, yeah, we're working on it. Don't ask us about it anymore.
You know, on the upside, this will definitely get people talking about BioShock again, which is why 2K did this.
But on the other hand, once 4, 5, 6 years go by, you can bet we'll start seeing headlines about BioShock and development hell.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword to be sure. Gamers have learned to be patient with things like this, and it certainly sounds like we'll need a lot of it.
Yeah, gamers famously patient. Take-Two also might have announced this to tell investors that they've got new stuff in the pipeline. Ismail's statement definitely seemed partially aimed at the finance crowd, especially sentences like this, where he said, "As we continue growing our product portfolio, we remain inspired by opportunities to invest further in our valuable IP, great people, and their collective long-term potential."
Yeah, something tells me that a studio named Cloud Chamber is going to take a while to put something out. They're probably not known for having short-term memories or a lot of work ethic there.
Yeah, that's finance speak for, we know there's still a lot of money to be made in BioShock nostalgia, and don't worry, we're on it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's still all about making money.
It's my favorite corporate apologist shtick ever, where it's like, well, they are a business. Their whole point is to make money. They're not a charity.
Cool, awesome.
The things you love are just spreadsheets. There's nothing more.
Finally, it's time to talk about Half-Life. After years and years and years, we can say years like 13 times, I guess. Yeah, we finally got a new sneak peek at a new Half-Life game just yesterday.
Yeah, the game is called Half-Life Alyx, and as Valve describes it, it's set between the events of Half-Life and Half-Life 2. In the game, Alyx Vance and her father Eli mount an early resistance to the Combine's brutal occupation